Hello, guys. Welcome back to another video. This is the Football Connect. I'm your host, Sam, and we are back again with another one with some excitement over all the things that is happening. But we have also some concerns that we need to cover, and I'm going to be covering everything like that in this video. So do me a favor before we even go far, just click the like button, subscribe to the Connect, the best way you support us here at the TFC. There's a lot of things to go through, people, because remember, tomorrow we have a double pre-friendly games that we are playing with Spanish teams. It's going to be an interesting time. I don't know how the Liverpool is going to be covering all those games because they're all going to be played at the same time. So it's going to be exciting to see how that one plays on like. But we also have some transfer news to talk about. Zubimendi. What's happening? This saga is really now starting to irritate people. So we're going to cover a bit about it, over how some weird stories that we're being told and how confusing they are. Really, it's been difficult right now to be enjoying any transfer window, people, but we are here going to be talking about it in this video. So I want you to do me a favor before we even waste any time. Click the like button, subscribe to the Connect, the best way you support us here, because we are going to be talking about all the things that you're expected and everything that you're going to be seeing on the video. So let's get into it. So the Zubimendi deal, there is a lot of things that has changed over the coming days and all the things that has been happening, because we keep hearing different news. Sometimes the journalists are saying something, and on the other side they go back, like they go against their word. Then they say something as well, they go against their word. So it has really been too confusing to actually keep up with everything that is happening when it comes to these transfers. But we are going to talk about it because I need to understand what's happening here, people. So one of the things that came out today, and I think this is really important to cover because it will touch on with whatever that has just happened. But listen to this, because that's one of the stories that came out, and I need you guys to help me understand this, because let me just put it on the screen right now so that you see what I'm talking about. So there's this story that came out from Modi Deportivo, a big journalist company in terms of in Spanish, and this is what they're saying. Liverpool have communicated to Real Sociedad that they are ready to pay Martin Zubimendi's £51 million release clause immediately. It seems like the Reds might have gotten tired of negotiating a possible different structure with Real Sociedad. And when you see a story like this, you'll be like, okay, maybe that's what is happening. Maybe Liverpool are just tired trying to negotiate over the Zubimendi deal, and this is what they think is the right thing to do, because they want to get maybe ahead of the deal to keep up with everything that is happening. But in some point, you might find that it might not actually be that case, because there are a lot of things that is happening when it comes to this deal, and some of the things that are delaying. But then on top of that, when you have get a news like that and you think maybe this is what's making sense over what's happening, you go to England and you are keeping up with all the journalists that are in England, and these are the type of news. Look at what I'm going to be reading to you in the screen, and actually tell me, how do you even get to understand exactly what's happening when it comes to the journalists that are in Britain, that are there in Spain as well in Britain? Listen to one of our journalists, which we follow as Liverpool fans, and this is what he had to say. He said, Liverpool remain hopeful of signing Martin Zubimendi and are ready to activate the £52 million release clause. So in other words, what they're saying here is that they're ready to activate the release clause of this guy. But also on top of that, one thing that they were saying in terms of this one, because I'm seeing this one is not really ending the way it should. And let me see if I can get the information really properly. But what basically that they were saying is this: they are ready to activate the release clause, but the problem is this: Martin Zubimendi has not given the say-so to Liverpool so that they can continue with the deal. Imagine, after this long, the way we've been following this story, we are being told that Martin Zubimendi, he has not given the go-ahead to the Liverpool team, or to his team, Real Sociedad, because Real Sociedad knows that he is interested in moving to Liverpool, but they've not been given they've not been told by the player. And Real Sociedad actually understand that Martin Zubimendi wants to come to Liverpool, hence why they've allowed the club to talk to him. But it seems like they've not reached they've not actually reached an agreement with Martin Zubimendi, which is crazy, because how can they not have reached an agreement yet, while other people are coming out and they're telling us that yes, they've reached agreements? So there are a lot of things that are fighting each other in terms of how the stories are being told. and it confuses so many people when you keep up with the stories. It leaves you with so many questions that you need maybe some answers, and I don't know. The other thing which is really, really important is this. What the other thing that is really important is this. We also have been told by Fabrizio Ramon. I think a lot of people have seen the story that they're saying that Liverpool, because of the deal which has just happened of Carvalho, Fabrizio Ramon is saying that the money which was used on Carvalho is gonna be the same money that Liverpool uses to trying to help with the Martin Zubimendi deal. So I said it when gave the breaking news of Carvalho in the later video that I did, the video that I did previously. You can go check it out. It's here on the Connect. When I was saying that, why does it feel like the money of Carvalho, it seems like Liverpool wants it to push and maybe help in the Zubimendi deal? When you look at that story of Carvalho, of Fabrizio Ramon, and you compare it with what is being said here, it gives direction over who and exactly is keeping up to date with everything that is happening here, because a lot of things of course keep changing, but one thing that has never changed is that Liverpool wants to get the deal done. They want to get this player, and everything that they've been working on is to try by all means to convince the player so that they move on to, to get the deal done. And I feel like that is actually past the point of trying to work on that, because there is a new story that came out, and this is the story I was looking for from the journalist who's from Germany. What do you call him? Is it Plattenberg? And this is what he said. I understand. It's crazy, people. I'm telling you, I actually have to laugh at this, because how is that it seems like some journalists are coming up with positivity and they go back on their word. So this is what Plattenberg had to say. He said, understand that Real Sociedad, that they have been officially informed that Liverpool is very keen on Martin Zubimendi. This is why there are concrete and the ongoing talks between LFC and the player and the management of the player, of course, with permission of Real Sociedad. No club-to-club talks at this stage. The 25-year-old midfielder has not yet informed the club that he wants to leave. Talking of Real Sociedad, that literally goes against what is coming from both the Spanish journalists as well as some of the journalists that are in England, because they are looking at the story and they're saying that it's moving forward. So there are a lot of confusion that is happening when it comes to the Zubimendi deal, and I don't really know which one you should hold on to, which one you should move on with. But the things that I can say, that if you are very wise, make sure that you listen to some Paul Joyce. Whenever he drops, he's speaking some truth. I always advise people to follow that. Whenever Fabrizio Ramon, even though sometimes he struggles with getting the Liverpool news, but whenever Fabrizio Ramon says something, I also advise people that maybe you follow and listen to the news, because it gives you proper in terms of exactly what is happening. It makes you have an idea over how the movements are happening, as well as David Ornstein, of course. Those are the people that I advise people to follow, because as well as some of the Spanish journalists, there are there that are only there for Real Sociedad, which I've been keeping an eye on and listening to what they were saying. And one of them came out and they said that at this point, Real Sociedad, they've tried everything they can to convince the player not to move, but everything seems like it is all done. Zubimendi has been confirmed and has already given his say so to Liverpool, plus as well to Real Sociedad, that he wants to move on with this deal. Now the negotiations are actually between the clubs. Yet somebody from Germany is coming out and telling you that no, it's not yet between the club, it's still the player and the management, and the player is not given his say so. So don't be confused with these deals. You have to be very careful when you approach this. So listen to some of the Spanish ones, because they're very close to the story, I believe, as well as the other one that are coming from England, because I think they'll give you better sources. But one thing I can tell you, my gut feeling is that Zubimendi has already said yes to Liverpool. And the thing that has been happening was between Liverpool and the Real Sociedad, because I think a few days back we were told that Liverpool are working so hard that they don't even have to pay the money straightforward as it is. They don't have to pay the money in terms of how it's needed. They wanted to take advantage of And this is really important of structuring the deal so that they pay the money in terms, so that they don't have to just pay the money as a whole. The purpose why maybe they might not want to pay the money as a whole, in which I believe that the money to sign Zubimendi, they have it, but they didn't want to pay it as a whole, is because, and this is really important, they also have other players that they want to sign. According to some rumors that are coming out, there's still other players that could yet to come to Liverpool. Forwards have also been mentioned with some of the people, but that's something that you have to keep an eye. Now, that's why maybe the Carvalho deal comes as a shock, but also it makes sense over what's happening here. Let's talk about the Carvalho deal. I already did a breaking news video. It's there on the Connect. I would advise anyone to go check it out. But let's talk about the Carvalho deal, because that could be something that we also need to focus on as well when it comes to Carvalho. And this is what happened. We were told just by I think this is a website, or should I call them a news anchor in Portugal? They were saying that Fabio Carvalho will leave Liverpool and sign to Brentford for 20 million euro. That's what they said. This is how they said it. Then Fabrizio Ramon came again with the same story, and he said, Fabio Carvalho and Brentford, here we go. Liverpool sell the player permanently. Important to understand. We understand that it's 20 million pounds plus add-ons as part of the package, which is what has been confirmed as well, because Paul Joyce did join in as well and give even more in terms of explaining. He said, Fabio Carvalho to Brentford for a total fee of around 27.5 million, inclusive of add-ons. Also, a 17% sell-on clause will go to Fulham. 17 sell-on clause has been put into the deal by Liverpool, as well as Fulham are set to receive 20% of the profits of this deal, which has been done between Brentford and Liverpool, which is maybe around £5 million. So that is really good on Fulham, because they're going to be making some money on, as well as I think this was Fabrizio Ramon who came out as well and said, oh no, this is just the outlet actually explaining how the deal came on, but this gives an idea over everything that has been worked on with Liverpool over the Carvalho deal, because there's something that I need to cover. So when it comes to this deal, as it was being explained, which is really important, which came from Fabrizio Ramon, and I'm going to be looking at it, which you guys have to listen, because I think it gives us an idea over what's exactly happening. According to Fabrizio Ramon, and I've already said this before, but I don't mind repeating it again, which is, he said, read this. It's actually going to appear on this screen right now in a few minutes, but read this. Liverpool informs that the funds of the sale of Carvalho will go towards the purchasing of Martin Zubimendi. When you look at that, and you compare with what came from Deportivo, talking about Liverpool saying that they're ready to pay the money in cash because they are tired of negotiating with Deportivo, it gives us an idea that, okay, maybe the team actually wants to pay the money as it is. They just want to get things done with, because they cannot continue talking to Deportivo because they're delaying in terms of everything that is happening. They cannot continue talking to Real Sociedad because they're making it difficult to come up with a structure over there. So they just think, let us pay the money, and just ignore all the craziness that we're going through, because this team doesn't want to sell. We want the player, and the player wants us. So let's get the deal done, which is really important when you look at it at the end of the day. So I'm really excited to see how this one plays out but I want to know your thoughts in the comment section, because they are a lot of information that is coming in, as well as also some players who are coming in. There is a player who could be about to come to Liverpool, but is only going to be coming on the loan basis. The reason why he's coming on loan basis is because the player wants to have game time, and we know that he won't get the game time, and this is the player that you're looking at on the screen. So we were being told that Liverpool are aware that Valencia needs to strike a big deal before the end of the window. That's why they are confident that they will get their goalkeeper. I think it's Jorginho for less than what they're asking for. Two offers have been rejected, but it's not sure who are they from. Newcastle also said to be interested. This was what was reported earlier in the morning, but there is something that came in the morning, which was one of the breaking news that we received, that just in Liverpool are now best positioned to sign the goalkeeper, and the name is Georgine, and now they've made an offer. Valencia need to make one big sale in this window to improve their accounts, and the goalkeeper seems to be the one choice that is going to be sold. As well as, I think a few weeks or a few days back, some news and rumors came out that he was also interested in moving. The goalkeeper, he wanted to come to Liverpool, and he understood that maybe it might mean that he might go on a loan, and he was ready for all of that because he wants to be a player for Liverpool. So I'm really excited over these deals. These are some of the deals that you have to keep an eye on and see how they progress, but that's what we are being told, people. You have to keep an eye on all the transfers that Liverpool are working on. But this was where the players who are coming in, as well as I think I've explained Fabio Carvalho, which I've already touched on, so you can just go check it out. It's all done. I did talk about him. They are also some players that are going to be leaving and they're going to be going. Those are the players that I need to talk about, which is really, really important. Also, over the Fabrizio Ramon story that I was talking about a few minutes ago, let me just put it on the screen so that you see it. Sorry about that. This is the story that came from Fabrizio Ramon. So he said it's expected that the funds from the sale of Carvalho will go towards the kit of tightening towards the deal for the Spanish midfielder Martin Zubimendi. So there's just another maybe to those people who might not believe me when I'm saying it, or you might not believe me as a source, but this actually came out and it's also been proven. So let's just keep an eye on it and see how that one plays out like. But also, like I said, there is another story that we need to talk about concerning the outgoings that are leaving Liverpool, because I'm telling you, a lot of players have left Liverpool. A lot. And we're going to have to talk about them because there are a lot. There are really a lot of people. And I never thought it could go that deep because, I don't know. So, there was a deal that came out a bit earlier today where we were being told that Liverpool players just left. One of the youngsters of Liverpool is living on a permanent, and it will not only be Carvalho, a lot of players will be leaving, and you will be surprised over some of the deals which has been done, people. And I don't even know the right words to speak, so I'm just going to read them for you. Let me go to the story right now as we are live so that we just talk about them, because I'm still shocked, to be honest. I'm still shocked. And I might not be a biggest fan over the deals that Liverpool are doing right now, but I have to accept it, because if we want some players to move on and if we want to have direction over what we're working on, we have to be ready to accept players that they're going to be moving on and we should be going on. So I wanted to go to David Kopp so that, because he's the one who has really been covering so much over the players that are leaving. So I'm going to be putting in terms in his page right now so that you can see all the things which he was talking about, all the players who could be leaving on loan, as well as the players that are staying in the club. So this is what David Kopp had to say. I think it's on the screen now. So the first one, we have been told that Gordon is close to agreeing a loan move to Swansea, and one of the reasons why he's going is because this player has not gotten so much game time, and I think they are working so hard to get more time and help him become better. So that's where the news is coming from. That's why we're being told that he will be going. But the one exclusive story which came out that up to now I'm still yet to actually accept is this one. Exclusive. RB Salzburg are edging closer to agreement on a permanent deal with Liverpool for Bobby Clark. In a surprise move, the young midfielder is on the verge of leaving the Anfield on a permanent deal. A number of championship sides are interested in this impressive 19-year-old. We exclusively revealed that the Austrian side made initial talks of 6 million pounds bid on the midfielder, but now it seems like he's about to move because the former manager of Liverpool, actual assistant manager of Liverpool, actually wants him, and I have no idea. It has not yet been confirmed, but that's what I'm being told. That this is what's happening. Salzburg have continued negotiating with Liverpool despite rejection of their initial bid of clock costing them more than £6 million. £6 million. So let's see how this one plays on. But that's what we're being told, that it could happen. As well as Gordon is leaving, there are also outgoings which has been mentioned as well in this today, which I think it all makes sense. I think Luke Chambers has already joined a championship team on loan, as well as other players that are there. There is some Martin Zubimendi deals situations as well in this story. So it's been a busy day, to be honest, people. So I don't know if I've actually covered every single thing that comes to in. We were also told that if, Steven Pasic could also be one of the players that actually goes on loan. So we have to keep an eye on that one as well, in terms of how true that could be, or if there's anything that happens. But as things stands right now, people, these are the things that are happening when it comes to Liverpool. And I want to hear your thoughts in the comment section. Are you in agreement on some of the players who are leaving the club? Or maybe you're just like me and you're really hurt that you're about to be losing Bobby Clark, who looked like he was one of the best players in the team. And I don't think a lot of people wants to see him gone. But it could happen as things are moving so fast when it comes to Liverpool. Okay. So many players are also going to be leaving on loan as well, in terms of some young players like Ben Dog, I believe is going to be going, as well as other players. I don't really know them by name, but just keep an eye on these people. It's really moving, and it's eagerly close to see how things will set up for the new season. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. What do you think of all the transfers that are happening to Liverpool? And are you excited over the new season? Because after this, we need to talk about the season which is ahead. We need to talk about all the things that are going to be happening, because, look at this. Let me just put it on the screen. There is a possibility, it is already a possibility that Liverpool tomorrow are going to be playing 2 games. The reason why they're playing 2 games is because of the players who are just joining in the Arne Slot team, and he wants to get them ready for the preseason. That's why I've actually put it as a preview of the Sevilla game, as it's one of the games which is going to be played, but there are also other games which are going to be covered. And I just have to give you a preview of reading what has been put here on the site. So, according to this, 2 games in a row are going to be played. Yeah, 2 games in a row are going to be played for Liverpool. Something new. Nobody really is expecting this one, but it's going to be interesting. So I do believe maybe it's going to be Arne Slot is going to be trying to give every player 45 minutes in each of the games. The other one is going, 2 games in 7 hours, Liverpool versus Sevilla and the Las Palmas, a double match preview. So, like I'm saying, Liverpool are going to be having a busy Sunday ahead of their final 2 preseason friendlies played just hours apart, one of them in front of the crowd and the other one behind closed doors. In an unprecedented situation, the Reds have previously played 2 games in 2 days in a preseason, but never twice on the same day, because of course after tomorrow the only focus will be on the first game, which is going to be played on Saturday early in the morning. So they want to get this really done and see what happens. But there are so many players have only returned to training this week. Playing time is required, so the solution has been found on 2 Spanish sides arriving at Anfield. Quite how Arne Slot divide the squad will be extremely interesting. Will it be all the players who have been involved in the preseason already against Sevilla and the players just returning on the Las Palmas, or is it going to be a mixture of those? Those are some of the interesting questions that we are all asking ourselves. As well, there are so many players that are already leaving. This match was rescheduled as the new boss preferred those for those unwanted 12:30 games. So Arne Slot did it on purpose so that the game is played over the time Liverpool were playing on Saturday against Ipswich Town. Oh, that's interesting. Sevilla, now coached by Garcia Premier, beat Fulham in their most recent friendly in a 2-1 win at Alavenia. They signed Kelechi Iheanacho from Leicester this summer, so it's going to be an interesting one. I can't wait. Also, versus Les Palmas, it's going to be played at 5 p.m. and it's going to be behind closed doors at Enfield. Hastily arranging a friendly follow La Liga side Las Palmas arrives at Enfield for the late kickoff, seemingly so Slot can get more players playing time. Quite, quite why there is a lot of four friendlies arranged when Slot arrived into the club. So questionable. Fans won't be attending for this one, the only announced, which is the only announced earlier this week, because they actually had to add it into the preview. They wanted to get the team ready for whatever that they're working on. But one thing that I can tell you, it's going to be exciting to see how Slot get these things actually happening, because imagine playing two games at once, people. Has that ever happened? That's my question to you, because they have to get so much playing time for players who are actually coming into this. It's going to be exciting how they do it. But one thing that I can tell you, you need to be excited over this, because we are going to get, I do believe it's going to be a mix. I don't think it's going to be, as the article is saying, I do believe that they're going to mix the players. Virgil van Dijk might play alongside Konza, and that might symbolize that these are the players that actually starts in the first game. And I think for the first time we're gonna see Alisson getting game time as a goalkeeper. He is the only goalkeeper I've not seen playing in this Slot build up from the back, trying to see how they build up going forward. The likes of McAllister, I do believe they'll be in there, the Darwin Nunes, as well as the other players that are going to be playing, because I think what Slot wants to achieve from this game, especially the Sevilla game, because that's the only one we'll be watching, and the Anfield crowd will be there to watch the game. He is going to try to get the team, and maybe if you look at the team that is set up in the first half, it might give you a hint over the team that is going to be setting up against Ipswich Town, because he needs them ready. He needs them to be ready to challenge and to play the game. So be excited over this one, because it will give you an idea of what Arne Slot is working on during this season and what he wants to achieve with this team. So I want to know your prediction. What do you think is going to happen from Liverpool? And can we try to predict the team that actually plays in the first game of this first game, which is going to be played at 12:30, or is it at 1? Because he wants to see how the preparation goes on in England, preparing for that early kickoff, which Jurgen Klopp has never liked. We all know this for a fact. He has never liked these types of games. So it's going to be exciting to see how they set up that one. But I do believe, when I'm looking at this game, I do believe what's going to happen, which is really important, we are going to see Virgil van Dijk coming back into the team. So first two players that I can predict coming in is Alisson as well as Virgil van Dijk, because he wants to see how the captain, as well as one of the captains and the main goalkeeper of the team, will play like, and if he's ready for match preparation or is ready for match play, and how it's going to be approaching the game. The other one I feel like it's going to be playing alongside Virgil van Dijk, it's actually going to be Gerard Konza. The reason why I'm saying it's going to be Konza is because I do feel like Konate struggled in the last game to show if he can play this plays of building up from the back going forward in this Liverpool new system. So I do believe that he will need somebody who's going to be a comfortable partner in which he's going to keep with Virgil van Dijk over the whole entire game. Andy Robertson will be back at number 3, because I saw him training. It looks like he's ready and is ready. He has been watching what Arne Slot has been doing. He has been learning everything that the manager is asking of him. So I do believe that's one of the players that is going to be featured and is going to be playing on the left back, as well as Trent Alexander-Arnold. Look, people, the only thing that we want to hear from Trent Alexander-Arnold is if he has signed the deal, but I don't think that is going to be happening anytime soon. So let's just focus on what we have, which is the game he's going to be playing, because we can't force him to sign a deal, or maybe to get him the things to get done early. I cannot say that, but it's going to be interesting to see how the situation plays out. Like the other one in the midfield, we will see McAllister back into the team, because I think it's one of the players who's going to be very, very important over how Arne Slot builds this Liverpool team. I don't know. Now the question comes here: is he going to be playing alongside Curtis Jones, or maybe Ryan Gravenberch, or maybe I don't think Wataru Endo gets into this team, or maybe Dominic Soboslai in that double pivot we saw Liverpool playing last time. Remember, we're still waiting for Martin Zubimendi deal to be done so that he can come to Liverpool, but it's not yet done. So I do believe the interesting part is between who plays next to McAllister. But at this point, I think it's going to be Curtis Jones. The reason why I'm saying Curtis Jones is because I do believe up front he might opt for Dominic Soboslai to play that number 10 role. If that's not the case, then Dominic Soboslai drops to be next to McAllister. Then we will see Harvey Elliott up top of that midfield setup. The interesting part goes up forward. This is why it's exciting. Of course, we know Salah is going to play. He has looked so amazing in the system, and he has looked like he's ready to go for it. It's going to be interesting how he links up with Trent Alexander-Arnold at that position. But the question that I'm going to be putting forward to you is this: who is he going to be playing next to? Who's going to be that gunman? Is it going to be Diogo Jota, who showed how intelligent he is, even though he did not score goals in the preseason, but showed the intelligence of how he is going to link up and help the team go forward? Or maybe we get to see our dear old Darwin Núñez coming back in that position, because we saw how much of a good player he is. We saw how much he really did so well. So I'm curious as well to see how he does that as well. And on the left side, is it going to be Cody Gakpo? He showed in the Euros that he deserved to have game time to get to play that position. Or maybe he gets to get, Luis Diaz. So those are the some of the questions that we all gonna be looking for answers for. How would the new manager set it up? How is he gonna be doing? Remember, this is his first Anfield game, and one thing that he needs is to give the fans something to smile about. He has to give his defense something so that they can believe and actually start following. All these things are gonna be happening, because if they don't happen, so many questions are going to be raised, and that's what we're all here for. We love those so many questions. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Are you excited over Liverpool, and are you excited to see Arne Slot football back again? Because I know all the people who have been watching these types of football, they've been enjoying what Arne Slot has been doing. So we are going to be continuing over this Arne Slot type of game and seeing how it goes on, and how it helps the team to actually build to go forward. So there have been some linked, as well as some of the things that I wanted to talk about at the end. I didn't want to maybe mess up the video in terms of how I was talking about and everything that has been happening. There have been some stories which came out, including Zubimendi, which came out from some account which was explaining something interesting as well. I just thought it was not important or necessary at that point. That's why I did not talk about it. But now, because I'm almost done with the video, with the live stream, I just feel like maybe I can just talk about it and hear your thoughts over what you think of this. One of the stories included the Anthony Gordon saga, because it seems like that is going to continue. But listen to this, what Stephen K, I think it's called Stephen K9. I don't know, is that how you call him? Stephen K, who came out and he was giving an interesting statement over what happened between Arsenal and Zubimendi. So maybe he's coming out because he's seeing how the Liverpool situation is delaying, and he thinks that maybe that could be something that happens to Liverpool. But I don't think that'll be the case. When I think about it, really, I don't see it as the case. But it doesn't matter. It's what I read. Let's hear what he had to say. I don't like it, though. I don't like it, but we have to. So according to him, Arsenal had agreed terms with Zubimendi, but didn't hear back from his agent. That's what he said, that the agent or the Arsenal team was really, really angry over the fact that there was some agreement between Zubimendi and the agent, but then the situation just went cold. They just disappeared, and they never came back to give them the go-ahead or to move with on the other side of Sevilla or Real Sociedad, and could have been the reason why the deal fell through. And I don't know. If you want to go read, I can advise you, go check it out. It is there. Go read the story and hear what's really happening over this situation and what actually led into this craziness. But there was an agreement over this, but it never materialized, and that's one of the things that he was really trying to highlight that he was not really happy with. So it just brings some interesting excitement when it comes to the transfer window and everything that is happening. Also, the other news that I need to talk about is the Anthony Gordon. We've been told about this Gordon story, and I think it's refusing to disappear because it's back again, people. This is what we were told about. That Anthony Gordon and Newcastle squad decision explained and ended the Liverpool thing. Sorry about this weird Alibaba advert. Just weird. And let's get into it. So Liverpool transfer of Anthony Gordon is not concluded. Newcastle friendly squad and exit link with explanation and whatever that happened. Let's hear what happened. Anthony Gordon has been left out of Newcastle's matchday squad as they take on League One outfit based at St. James Park. It comes just one day after Eddie Howe side played Girona in their first final pre-season preparation. Liverpool hold strong interest in Anthony Gordon this summer, having been guaranteed a pathway to sign him in the final weeks of June. Played their own last game on Sunday afternoon against Sevilla before the Premier League season starts next week. Of course, we get it. So why Gordon played and scored on Friday against Girona, banging a second in the 4-goal win that they won before being taken off at halftime, reflecting just why Liverpool are keen to add him to the squad. However, with just 3 weeks to go of the summer, the chance of completing the deal is not on a high. Even though Gordon has not yet gotten the note from Newcastle on Saturday, it hasn't thought being related to his future. Instead, Howe has routinely rotated his squad to give out minutes to the wider squad. So this is an interesting story because one thing that you have been seeing over the Anthony Gordon situation, it just seems like we are not going to find a way to get this player, even though there are still some rumors that they're telling us that he could still come to Liverpool, which could be amazing. But also there are also some rumors that tells us that it might not happen. So I'm not gonna be here giving you some crazy stories that I'm just gonna be taking out of nowhere and telling you that I'm sure that Anthony Gordon will be joining Liverpool, because one thing that I can tell you, there's still some serious, because they have been confirmed that there are strong interest from Liverpool, and I'm being told that there's gonna be so many deals that are being done. Some rumors were saying that it could be 2 players that are actually included into this Liverpool, that are put in routines to help the Liverpool team to be ready for how this new season will look like. But it doesn't mean that Anthony Gordon is going to move or is going to come. But also Eddie Howe in the last game that they played, Newcastle, gave an interesting review by saying that Newcastle might need to sell a player to at least have their books balanced over the coming season. So I don't know what that was meant to be saying, but it also that gives a hint that we could see Anthony Gordon still moving this summer. I don't know where is he going to be going, but that's what we're here for, people. We want to see what happens between Liverpool and Anthony Gordon, because, of course, we know Anthony Gordon wants Liverpool. Liverpool wants Anthony Gordon. Medical tests were set. Things were meant to happen, but they just did not happen. So that's why we are going to keep an eye on this one to see what happens. As I'm speaking to you, I'm just checking right now if there's any breaking news which has happened. But at this moment, it doesn't look like there's any. So we'll keep an eye on this, and I want to hear your thoughts in the comment section. Are you excited over the new season? What are you expecting? Tottenham has gotten their man, and that man has given us money, which is Dominic Solanke. Remember, there was a sell-on clause of 20%, and Liverpool have just collected in that one. So, excitement keeps happening, people. So, tomorrow's games, I hope you are ready. The friendlies are going to be exciting to watch. Of course, we won't be watching the second game, but be excited over the first game. and I don't know what to say. Which one of the deals we shocked you, and which one left you really speechless? I'll come with my reviews of the games tomorrow after watching the first game. Then we'll see what happens tomorrow. But this was Saturday Night Live, people. I had to give you all the news in terms of the transfers. Zubimendi deal, is this still going to happen? Let's just keep it quiet on this one and just enjoy it, because if there's anything that happens, it will happen, and we will understand that it will make sense when it's happening. But at this moment, I'm going to be a host here, and I'm going to be watching everything that happens of the window, and I want to hear your thoughts. So many outgoings that have left Liverpool on the permanent are the ones that are really eating me up, especially the clock decision. I don't want him to go. Tyler Morton, I want him to remain at the club. So many youngsters have already left. At least let Tyler Morton remain. Steven Bassett, of course, I understand that he has to leave because he has to get game time. He has to prepare himself for the new season. But at least let there be some players that remain in the club. That's all that I'm asking from Liverpool. That's all that I need, people. And that's all that I'm going to be screaming for the whole entire window. So thank you very much for watching. I've been your host, Sam, and I'll see you on another live stream, or maybe there will be breaking news anytime if the Zubimendi deal is done. I'm praying. But all we will have to wait and see, people. Click the like button, subscribe to Connect. I'll see you on another one. Like the vid. We out. Peace. Here's the outro.
Beats the goalkeeper. You're just lost for words. He